What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another reaction. This is probably the top 10 most excited I've ever been for a reaction because this music video has been on my to-do list for the longest time. And it's funny that on a month like October, where everybody and their mothers and the entire family tree is having a comeback, that's when I decide to check this one out. But I just couldn't wait anymore. We're checking out Daechwita, which I probably butchered, which is, before we actually get started, a genre of Korean traditional music consisting of military music played by wind and percussion instrument, generally performed while marching or as a static performance. So we're gonna be checking out this song by Suga from BTS, aka Agust D. And am I the only one who was about to say August D, like the month of August, before realizing that there's a letter missing and it's probably not the way to pronounce it? Let me know if I'm the only one. In any case, I've been meaning to check out this song for the longest time, so without any further ado, let's get into it. Oh, damn. Holy shit. Captions on. Just wanted to make sure. Damn.
Yeah. Oh.
We so fly part. Nice. Oh boy.
Who's the king? Who's the boss? 다 알잖아 내 이름 이만 상식이들 당장 놈의 목을 쳐.
Holy shit. Are those heads in those backs? Oh! Yeah, he looks fabulous. Holy shit! I'm so... You're so humble. Damn. Shit, the flow.
I'm a king, I'm a boss. 내 이름 이만 상식이들 당장 놈의 I'm a king, I'm a boss. 다 알잖아 내 이름 이만 상식이들 당장 놈의 목을 쳐.
Holy shit. Is that a sword in your hand, or are you just happy to see me? He's treating his... Holy shit. Oh my. Oh. Whoa. Uh. Okay, hold up. Uh, the ending of this music video kind of to me represents a duality, which is very popular in K-pop. But here, it's almost like Suga is looking at a version of himself that got drunk off of the power that he has gained and became the king, became almost like the Mad King. Now, Daechwita, the title of the song, as we talked about in the beginning, the meaning is a genre of music that is based on military themes. That was also, I read, used during marching or during the time at which the army has won or something like that. Now, that is very fitting because literally army is BTS's fandom's name. The ending is very interesting because the man that faked the execution of Suga is almost like the extension of army that gave Suga the gun to kill the version of himself that he never wants to become, but that version is constantly in his head. Like he wants to kill those demons that will prevent him from believing his own hype in a way. Clearly the lyrics here are coming from a very confident and almost cocky, sassy type of aspect, but also there's an aspect of these lyrics that are talking about coming from humble beginnings. Born a slave, now a king were some of the lyrics as well. And burying the past, shoving the past or putting the past in a rice chest, which is a place where you store your rice to prevent uh insects and moisture from sneaking in, which was an interesting, like, shoving the past in a rice chest, but at the same time rice chest will prevent those memories from disappearing. So it's like you're not gonna forget where you came from in a way, which could be a nice touch as far as the version of Sugar that will not allow himself to become this Mad King version of himself. So to me, it's almost like BTS handed him the gun is an extension. That man who faked the execution is an extension of BTS helping Suga stay grounded because it's the fans, it's army that helped BTS become who they are. So for that reason, they will never forget where they came from and they will always be appreciative of the fans. The fans will always be there for them and they will always be there for the fans. The theory that I'm getting from this music video is very interesting, and it's almost like fighting the demons within you to avoid becoming the the worst version of yourself that thinks that they're the shit, because no one is as popular as BTS, and yet we see day in and day out there's people, content creators, musicians, artists, actors, whatever, who think they're the shit and they reach a level of popularity and they think that they're the god, they're a king, an idol, or whatever. And that's usually when they hit rock bottom. It's the beginning of their downfall when they believe their own hype. When I'm watching Run BTS, for example, if I didn't know any better, I would never assume that these are some of the most popular human beings on the face of this planet. Their humility and how grounded they are never ceases to amaze me. And that's something that I believe that Suga tried to show off while also still showing off the fact that he has all of the power and all of the popularity. It's almost like there is a Mad King version of him, but at the same time, he will not let it get into his head. He has those private jets, as he talked about in the lyrics. Literally, BTS, the group, and they have their own probably private jet. And coming from humble beginnings, but not forgetting those humble beginnings is kind of like what this music video to me represents. These are just, as always, my opinions and my interpretation of the music video. If I'm off, feel free to let me know. Now, as far as like the visuals, like the time period, the set design, the outfits, and everything, I can't speak too much about that. So you can talk about it in the comments, obviously. And Genius.com actually has an amazing amount of explanations for almost every single lyric that is available. Everything that is in bold, you can click on it and it will give you an explanation to like the time period, what these words mean, what these lyrics represent. But I don't want to go there because I feel like I'm not a historian, so I don't want to talk about things that I don't really understand. So I just want to enjoy this music video and come to my own conclusions. If you want to know more about this music video, the only thing that I looked up as far as the symbolism in this music video is the actual title, Daechwita. And so I know at least what is the title representing, and that's why I knew about the military theme and everything. Everything else, as far as the lyrics go, feel free to go on genius.com, and it will pretty much chew everything and let you know exactly what is the meaning behind every single lyric. I, however, decided not to go too much into it, so we're just gonna go based off the lyrics, the captions on this video. So let's take this back.
Yeah.
This music video, for the most part, to me kind of speaks about coming from humble beginnings and coming from a place of being looked down on and now becoming the king, essentially. But the ending still kind of represents the fact that I'm not going to lose that hunger and that humbleness that fueled my desire to become a king. We so fly, and now a private jet. I'm so fly, but also I have a private jet, so I'm flying as well. Berserk Tiger is in Berserk. I'm pretty sure I'm not pretty sure. I know that there's an anime called Berserk, and also a tiger is interesting. Born in a ditch but rise up, a dragon. Again, talking about humble beginnings, coming from nowhere. I love how confident he is in his delivery. Like, I'm not almost ashamed of my success. Everything that I got, I deserve it. I got lots to lose. Shove the past to a rice chest, which is something that I think I talked about previously, because a rice chest is supposed to preserve the rice. So I'm preserving the memories. I have a lot to lose with my success. I have to be careful, perhaps. I'm not sure. This is very interesting because it's almost like he's calling someone out, like being called a pup. but in reality, I'm a freaking tiger and I'm not a weakling as like you, who's a pill popper, like literally popping pills, like taking drugs and whatnot. I don't need that shit in my life. I don't do that. And I'm not as weak as you. I'm about to dine on what I know as mine. Everything that is on this table was killed and cooked by me. Like that's really cool. Pathetic fucks putting on what? Pathetic fucks putting on a talent show. Not gonna lie, it's a shit show. Okay, so he's clearly calling someone out, but I'm not sure if it's someone specific or just calling out the industry and just calling out the fact that everything is just so fake, and maybe he's calling out the fact that there's no real music or the people are fake, like playing tough instead of actually being tough. Like you rap about popping pills and doing some nasty shit, where I come from actual humble beginnings and I know what it's like to go through hardships, where you are just pretending to be hard, pretending like you're the shit, but in a real life or death situation, I'm gonna persevere while you're going to probably shit your pants or something like that, you know? Like, off with their heads is literally we see the heads are hanging in those bags. I assume it's their heads. It's like he's literally like calling out like the competition or calling out the fakeness in the industry, so to speak, and just talking about, well, you pretend to be hard. I'm actually all that you can only fantasize about. Like, you can talk all the shit, but I'm the one who's got game. Damn. And it's almost like calling out competition, also like these could be haters for all I know, like, because he's almost like a Mad King version of himself, so he's like executing everyone. Because this is war military themed Daechwita. And this music is playing over his victory. That smile is awesome. Head this down and cut and run in a jet. In a, like a private jet? Or am I missing something? This country's too small to hold me. Like, I'm bigger than the place that I'm from. Like, nothing can stop me. I have the whole world in the palm of my hand, which literally it kind of represents BTS becoming the single biggest like entity in music, in K-pop especially. But damn, literally taking over the world. So, revenues keep going up. That obviously talking about most likely like BTS themselves as well. PD, I'm guessing that's like behind the Hype or Big Hit Entertainment, the company that is behind BTS. I'm guessing that's one of the people that put BTS together in the first place. My time is worth more than money. And he literally says, I'm so thankful, I'm a genius. And apparently that's something that he described himself as, and it's a nickname that he has, which is pretty cool. And again, he almost like kind of calls out someone. I'm not sure if it's someone in particular or just in general. That's your excuse for popping pills. Cry me a river, you got no skills, which is a really cool line. Yeah. Okay, this is actually very interesting. He's surrounded by fire, as he talks about, I got everything that I ever wanted, and then he's blindfolded. It's like he became a victim of his own success. I only looked up, and now I want to look down and put my feet on the ground. I'm so above the sky that I don't remember, like, these lyrics kind of represent the Mad King version of Suga that he never wants to become, because he always wants to kind of feel grounded. And he never wants to be blinded by the material things and the popularity and the fame that he achieves, because the second that you lose yourself in that, you will lose touch with your fans. You will lose the connection. They will cease to find you relatable because you think that you are above that and you want to reach back down. You want to look down and remember where you came from. You want to touch that ground because that is where your fans are, in a way. You want to be grounded again. That's actually quite beautiful, if that's the meaning. Like, you got everything that you ever wanted to without realizing that all that you wanted to are just material things that now that you have them, much like wanting to get 1 million subscribers, you got it. Now what? Like, it feels like it's never enough. 10 million next, 100 million, 1 billion. Like, nothing changes in your mind. And it's almost like once you achieved it, it's like, now what? Why do I feel so empty? But at the same time, much like the lyrics suggested before, I have a lot to lose, but yet I have so very little to gain because I'm so high above the ground. Every mistake that I might make now, because I lost touch with reality, because I'm believing my own hype, because I feel like I'm so much better than everyone else, because I have all these things. I became a victim of my own success because I believed my own hype. And that's when you kind of, your downfall begins, unless you realize that material things are not going to fulfill you emotionally. He realized that at the right moment, that he wants to stay grounded. And that's what, to me, this version of Suga represents, the version of himself that never wants to see himself as that mad king that thinks he's above everyone else, that is cutting heads and is looking down on everyone. 원하는 건 모두 가졌지 이제는 물려가져야만 만족이 될지 내가 원했던 건 너 때문에 논다면 걸걸 이 다음은 도대체 뭐지 그 다음은 그래 뭘까 심히 느껴지는 현타 위가 없는 현상 위험보다 난 이젠 강하대 맘보다가 이대로 축제하고파 I'm a king I'm a boss 새겨놓아 내 이름 이만찬 새끼들 당장 눈에 줘 I'm a king I'm a boss 다 알잖아 내 이름 이만찬 새끼들 당장 눈에 먹을 줘 To me, this is like the two versions of Suga that are battling each other. Like, one wants to kill the other because he never wants to look down again because he's better than that. So it's like one version of himself wants to kill the other because, like, to me, these are two versions of Suga that are battling each other because one considers the other as the weakling. If that makes any sense. Like, I want to kill the version of me that is like soft, that wants to be grounded, while the other version of me wants to kill this crazy version that thinks that he's above everyone and is only focusing on materialistic things and only focusing on being on top, regardless of what it does to everyone else, and regardless of the fact that by being in such a high level, you're going to end up being there by yourself because you lost touch with everyone else that looked up to you. So now you're the king, but everybody hates you. That's how usually like rebellions kind of work. Like the king has gone mad, and eventually, somebody uh, wants to off him because he got drunk off of his own power because he doesn't see anyone as an equal, and he thinks that he's the shit, and everyone else is just slaves and whatnot. And this smile, like, I love that smile. I love the visuals. It's almost like the executioner is the extension of Suga, who's doing the same movement, and then the camera cuts to the executioner killing that version of Suga. So it's like he is so high up on his horse that he can't even execute his own version by himself. He needs to use someone. If you want something to get done properly, you have to do it yourself. He gave the task to someone else who dislikes him but just works for him, which is like the extension of army that helped Suga battle his own demons and gave him the gun to kill the version of Suga that is high above the clouds, better than anyone. That's at least my interpretation. Were those rings there? This is beautiful. That was amazing. Though I do kind of wonder, like, he faked the execution, but the king version of Suga is still standing there and watching everything. It's not like he turned his back or something. So that's kind of interesting the way that was executed. But in any case, this was absolutely incredible. I love the traditional elements within the actual instrumental. I love Suga. Like the more I'm watching Run BTS, the more I kind of really beginning to love him. And I was already a huge fan of him, as I am of all of BTS, obviously. But like there's something about his aesthetic and his aura, especially that special episode, the two-part special episode of Run BTS. He just comes off as such a cool, like bad motherfucker type for some reason. And this music video further emphasizes that point as well. So this was absolutely incredible. If I made any sense at all, let me know in the comment section. And yeah, it's been a while since I did a BTS reaction. This is not quite BTS, but it's still BTS. And this was definitely one of those songs that I wanted to check out for the longest time. And I'm very happy to finally do so. So if you enjoyed this reaction, let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, check out the Patreon if you want to support this channel and also see some exclusive reactions. And I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. See you.